moving forward.
What's going on, guys? Jay Parrish here with Coldwell Banker Elite, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about creating custom newsletters in MoxiEngage. Did you know that you could actually do this? Just like you're seeing right here, we have a custom newsletter built in MoxiEngage that you can save as a template and then create each month. Everything's fully editable. You can add in your own photos. You can change all the text in here. You can change the links where your updated market stats go. You can send them to a blog on your website. You can go down here and add in upcoming events. You can really make this whatever you want it to be, but it's another way to add value to your clients on a monthly or, if you're really ambitious, weekly basis, getting that newsletter out to them, giving them information, keeping yourself top of mind for them. So I want to jump in, show you guys exactly how you can create this and start having a newsletter sent out and all going into your workflow of MoxiEngage, so you don't have to have several different programs operating. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at how we get started with creating your newsletter. Okay, so you're all logged into MoxiEngage. This is the dashboard where you land at. And how we're going to get started is we're going to go into campaigns. So campaigns is where we will create any emails. This is where you find your neighborhood news. Everything is that you want to be sending outward to your clients falls under campaigns. So you have my campaigns, e-blast, that's like singular emails that you send out, holiday stuff, neighborhood news, listing announcements, and my emails. So to get started, it's kind of a little bit of a backwards way to get started. We have to go in and pull down an email that we want to change, and then we're going to save that for a template later. So we're going to go into add from library, and we're going to go over to emails. And then it doesn't really matter which one you choose. I like to just quickly scroll down here, get out of the global luxury ones and go down to a seller selling your home. It doesn't really matter at all what this looks like. So we're just going to go over here to add to emails. Once you see this green little box pop up, you're good to go. You're going to close that out. Okay, so once that's closed out, it's going to bring you back to your campaigns main page. It'll be under my campaigns. But we're going to now go to my emails to find the one that you just added to your library. So seller selling your home to, you might have chose something else, and that's totally fine if it has different wording there. But we're going to go ahead and click into that. And we want to do a couple things first here before we start editing. We want to go ahead and edit the setup. Actually, we're going to edit the name first. We're going to call this newsletter template. Save that. And then you can change the subject if you want. We're just going to call this template subject. We'll just go newsletter template subject, because what you're going to do is you're going to be coming back to this email and duplicating it for the future when you do one next month and so on. So newsletter template subject, just so we have that clear there. Okay. And then I like to include in the email the footer and the signature. You can decide if you want to add the header in. You can decide if you want to take the footer off when you send yourself a test email to see what it looks like. So you want to come down here to the bottom and save it. And now we're going to get into the fun part where we can edit this email however you would like. So we're going to click on edit email content. And if you've worked in any type of builder or you're used to designing your Moxie website, this is going to look a little bit familiar. You have all these options over here of whatever you would like to do. You can add buttons in, you can add like divider lines, text, images, you can space it out, you can set in different rows, and you can even change the style of how everything is laid out. You also have this cool option up here called change template. So we're going to click on change template. And just so you know, when you're going to choose those emails, if you do preview them and there's something that you really like, you can choose that one if you wanted to start from that. But today we're going to take a look at the templates. And we have a bunch of different options in here. We have an event template, holiday recipes, new listings. So you want to pick something that you like the way that it looks. It doesn't have to be the one that I choose and I show you today. Okay. So you have the newsletter, which is what we're going to work with, a news brief, a variety of different options down here for you to choose from. Today, since we're talking about newsletters and custom newsletters, we're going to choose the newsletter template. So when it popped up a quick box there, it shows that when you click that template, it's going to erase any information that you have. So if you started building this template out and then you decided you wanted to switch, everything you put on here before is going to get erased out. So you can do anything that you want. Everything in here is completely editable when you click into that. So I'm going to change this to your Fredericksburg monthly newsletter. I think you should come up with a name for your newsletter if it's something you're going to be sending out regularly, so they know what to expect and what they're looking for. And we're going to put a little heading image in here. There's an image on top of the background here. I'm going to delete that out because I want just the background image. And you can see we scroll over here. When I click into this, you can see the background image, and I'm going to double click on that to change an image. Actually, just click on images right above it. And I've already uploaded this, but if you just double click here, that's going to take you to where you can upload it. But I have this image right here, so double click that. And I would like to, the background size, I would like to change it to cover. And you can see how it's kind of crunched in here. So I'm going to change the bottom, which is going to lower the bottom section down to 100. And now we have a bigger image there. This is a Fredericksburg skyline, just reminding people of the area that I work in. This is going to be different for where you work. This is just an image that I took. We're going to kind of go through here and we're just going to edit as we go along. So we're going to change this to 2024. And we can just say March edition. And this is kind of stuff you would do each month, updating as you go along. I'm not really loving this image here for market updates, so I want to double click on that and change that image out. It's important, I do want to show you here, that you keep your images within the width and height that they show here. And what I recommend doing that is creating in Canva. Creating the exact image size. So this is one that I did here in Canva that I'm going to show you, and I made sure that it was 600 by 200 so it exports out correctly. I know a lot of you use Canva. There are other options out there, but that's the easiest one to use. So once you've exported that out of Canva, you can just double click on here and you would just upload it into here. I already have that one uploaded, so I'm just going to double click and you can see now that fits directly in here. Okay, so we have that all set. And again, you have the ability to change if you don't want to do market updates. You don't have to. But I think it's important to be sending market updates. You can create these market updates using sources like RPR. NAR's tool is such a great resource for you. They can actually create a little blog for you that you could then post to your Moxie website or whatever website that you're using. And then you can make a little heading here and change this button. You can leave it at view report, or you could change it to view market blog, whatever you want. And you want to scroll all the way down. I clicked on the button, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and then put in the URL that you want them to go to. Okay, so you want to link them to wherever they're going to see the market stats for you. You can outwardly link. It doesn't have to be your website. If you wanted to link to a Keeping Current Matters or just another local post, or even if it was a national post. I think the more you can keep it local to Fredericksburg, Stafford, King George, Richmond, wherever it is that you work, I think that's going to be more valuable for your client. I highly recommend doing a little blog post with information that you get from RPR on your own website, so that when they leave this, they're going to your website, then they start searching for homes on your website. It's really beneficial to do that. So you could have another article about something that's going on with Virginia real estate in here. And then what I really like is the upcoming events. And these are not local events here, but I highly recommend you just go and type into Google things to do in Fredericksburg this weekend or this month, this upcoming month. And you put a little cover picture in here, just like I showed you before. You change the title, a little blurb here, and then you make sure that these links down here, you go into the URL and you paste that URL in there, very important. And then as you update this each month, you want to make sure that you go through the buttons and you update those each time. So once you've done that, that's it. You have a customized newsletter. And again, obviously you can do a lot more with this. You can add more information into it, make it more customized to you. You can change the colors, you can do all of that. within the system here. So I think that that's going to be really beneficial for you, being able to connect with your clients on a monthly basis or on a weekly basis, giving them updates that are going on in the area, reminding them that you are an agent. So I want to show you, there's a couple more steps. We have this completed now. So we're going to go up here to continue in the top right. As you can see, the email content was saved. You can send yourself a test email, which I highly recommend that you do, so you see how it looks. If there's any changes that you want, you see how the footer and everything is set up. But we're going to go ahead and save this, okay? Because there's a few more steps that we have to do. Now, you have to decide, are you going to send this email to all of your contacts? I generally recommend that because this is going to be pretty general. It's not going to be focused on selling or buying, at least as the newsletter standpoint. But if you wanted to make it go to specific people, you can go over here to your People tab and click on either one. Let's see, we'll go to Overview first. And what you would want to do is, if you only wanted to send this to certain people, you're going to create a group called Newsletter. Okay, so let's see here. I actually wanted to go to My People instead of Overview. And then you want to edit your groups. Okay, so we're going to create a new group called Newsletter. Create. We're going to save that. And then you're going to go through and choose the people that you want to add to the newsletter. Okay, so you can kind of just go through the list, and you can check here and check here, like that. And once you have them all selected, you can go to Add to, Groups, go over here and click on Newsletter, and now we have 3 people added to our newsletter. You can also go and select everyone, so you could have all 478, and you could add all of them to your newsletter group. And that's what I'm going to do, because I'd want to send that to everyone in the group. The only thing I would recommend as you're thinking about who you're going to send it to, if it's going to be a Fredericksburg specific one, then there's really no reason to send this to people in your sphere of influence that might live in California, or you've sold their house and they moved out of the area. This newsletter is probably not going to be beneficial for them, so I would go in I would exclude those people from that. So now that we have our group created, we need to create our campaign that we're going to send out. So we're going to go back to campaigns, and we are going to go to Add from Library. Under campaigns, there's one at the top that should be called Create New Campaign. Okay, so you'll need to do this each time, or each month that you send it out. So we're going to go to Create New Campaign, Add to Campaigns. We're going to close this out. Under My Campaigns, and when you do this, you'll see here that it made a copy, because I'd already had one in my system before. So we're going to go click on Create New Campaign. And we want to edit the name of this one. So this one's going to be for our March newsletter. So we're going to save that. We're going to go to Recipients. We're going to go to Setup, Add Recipients. And you can add people one at a time if you'd like to do that. Or the more efficient way would be the groups. And we're going to go down here and so like I said, I'm going to choose all people, but you can go to your newsletter if you wanted to that specific group that you made. But I'm going to go ahead and choose all. Go to Add. Okay, so now it'll show you all the people that are added. And now we're going to create our campaign schedule. Okay, so if it's letting you know here that if you change this, anything you've done before, it's going to break that. So we're going to add an email, and we're going to drop that down, and we have what's the one that we called newsletter template. Okay, so we're going to have that in there, and we're going to then choose the date that we want to send it. So we'll say we'll send it next Monday. And for this campaign, that's all that we're going to do. If you were being really ambitious and wanted to build out your newsletters for months in advance, you could create that and add all the newsletters in here so that was going to go out to your clients, and you could choose the exact date that it was going to be sent every single time. The only negative I see to that is that if you were doing trends and things like that, you're not going to be able to create the trends in the future. It'd be nice if we could do that. We'd probably make a lot of money because we'd be able to predict the future, but we don't have that ability. So I kind of recommend doing this as a one-off, and we're going to save it. And we're going to save right here. And it's gonna, since I did so many, it's adding those recipients in. Once that's done, you would just click on the blue button up here in the top right to run the campaign, and then you're all set. One more quick tip for the next time you go to create your newsletter next month. You're gonna be in your campaigns. When you click on that, you're gonna wanna go over to the far right, My Emails, and we're gonna wanna find that template that we created the previous month. So as soon as that populates, you go over here to the three dots on the right. You just hit duplicate, and now you're going to see newsletter template copy 1, and you're just going to work from that one for your next month. So you would just go to edit name so you won't get confused, and you could just label it April 2024. Save that. You can set up the email and edit the email content just like we did previously. And that way you can keep doing it. You don't have to go in and recreate everything. Your newsletter will have the same look each month, so they'll have something that they're used to when they're seeing that. Hopefully this saves you a little bit of time. Let me know if you have any questions. I think this is a great way for you to be able to reach out to your clients and for it to be really beneficial way to stay in front of them, adding value to them, not just sending them your next listing, but this is going to be stuff that's prevalent, that are trends that are happening, and things that are events in the local area that you're going to want them to be able to open that email. And as we're talking, the blue button, all the people were added, so I could just click run campaign, and then on Monday this email is going to go out to everyone. I hope this helps. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you guys next time.